Your next vehicle from Community Motors of Mason City.
Great service from 3 locations. Community on Monroe, Community Motors Westside, and Mason City Ford. 10 new franchises and hundreds of vehicles to give you more choices. Plus, Community offers an exclusive 3-3 warranty on pre-owned vehicles and 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty on new. Need more reasons why? Stop or visit CommunityAutoGroup.com.
Because nobody beats a community deal.
Well, NorthIowaToday.com is here with Mike Chapin. He is having some issues out here at Gracious Estates. He would like to let the public know about what's taking place. Can you describe what's going on, Mike?
Basically, it happened Monday evening after dinner time. We get a knock on the door from the sheriff, and the sheriff, my husband, stepped outside first to see what was going on, and then the sheriff had a pink slip I seen in the hands, and I knew automatically that was an eviction notice. When the sheriff handed us the eviction notice, I asked the reasoning why. The sheriff said there was no reason. The only thing they gave us was a notice of lease cancellation for tenants of renting manufactured home space. A 60-day notice. We weren't. I've tried to contact Becky at the office. She refuses my calls. She won't pick up. Becky's the park manager.
Park manager, okay.
I've contacted Ken Brenton. Ken Brenton, thank you. Of Brenton Communities. He finally picked up my call yesterday, and as soon as I said my names, he got a real attitude with me and told me that he is a businessman and trying to run a business here. And I told him back in response, a businessman wouldn't be doing this to somebody that pays their rent on time and has had no complaints from any of their neighbors and have lived here for a year and a half. And I said, I want to know the reason why we're getting evicted. He told me he will not give me a reason. He wants to speak to my lawyer because he's a professional businessman and he has no rights, sort of to speak, to discuss this with me. So we have no reason why we're getting evicted whatsoever.
Absolutely nothing. It just, what does the paper there that you showed us say, Mike?
All it says is on the paper is pursuant to the provisions of section 562B 10/4 of Iowa Code, notice is hereby given to exiting rental agreement, and your tenancy shall be canceled as of 60 days from the given date of the notice. Your lease agreement will be terminated as of December 13th. Please make arrangements to vacate the premises and remove the home in a timely fashion. First of all, we were never given a lease. So
you have absolutely no lease out here to begin with.
To begin with.
Oh, Mike, let me just stop you there. How did you get in here in the first place then?
We were going through the same issue with the landlord that we previously had because they wanted to move their son into our house we were renting from them, so they kicked us out. I called Becky saying, let's just roll with the dice. Let's see what we can find, at affordable price so we can fix up and make our own. I called Becky last year, right a little bit before July, and she said she had this unit available. It was a rough unit. It needs work done to it.
This unit that we're in right now?
Yes.
How much, let me stop you for 1 second again. How much have you put into this place?
We have roughly put all of our savings into it, so we roughly have put about maybe $5,000-$6,000, new windows, new siding, new subflooring, new flooring. So you're renting this unit? You don't own it? No, we own this unit.
You own this unit?
Yes.
So you moved out here on the word of Becky into this unit that you then purchased?
Yes.
From who?
From Gracious Estates. We didn't. The unit fell behind on back taxes.
Okay.
And it also fell behind on lot rent.
Okay.
So for us to buy this unit, we had to pay up the back taxes and the back lot rent, and then they handed the title over to us free and clear.
So you got the title to this unit?
Yes.
If this goes through, are you going to be able to move this place?
Probably not. It's hard to find parks to allow. This is a 1988 unit. It's hard to find any parks to allow an older unit, especially if it's been rehabbed, to be moved into another park.
Yeah.
I don't have the money. I had surgery 2 weeks ago, so I've been recuperating, and all of our money has been exhausted. And
sure. It's okay.
She knows better. Sorry.
It's okay.
And you have a black shirt. You don't walk on your way.
It's all right.
All of our money has been exhausted. into rehabbing this unit. New windows, new siding, new flooring, new everything.
So you're in a real bind.
We are.
You have put thousands of dollars into this place. You moved in here on the word of Becky who is the manager, the park manager.
Yes.
Now the owner of the park refuses to speak with you.
Yes.
You have an eviction notice delivered from the sheriff.
Yes.
You have absolutely no reason that you feel that you're being evicted.
Right.
What's your next move here?
I need to find a lawyer to help me get an injunction to stop the eviction notice, but it has been difficult. Every lawyer I've called decided they don't want to take our case for some reason.
Have you gotten any reason, any inkling why they wouldn't want to take your case?
No clue. Either they're just too busy, I would assume, or it just doesn't seem. They just don't. They feel it's a waste of time.
Okay.
You know, that's the way I'm feeling from every lawyer I've called so far, to try to say all I need is a lawyer to help me with an injunction.
You called around Mason City?
Yes, and I called around Clear Lake.
Okay.
And I couldn't still get nobody. I did call our representative, House representative here, and she's going to call me back next week.
What about Lionel Foster down at the Mason City Human Rights? Have you contacted him?
Yes. Lionel Foster told me that it's hard to really determine anything because we don't know the reasoning. You know, whether it be because my husband's on the registry, whether it be because of a trailer house in the front of the park, as you see coming in, that we were handed a junk title to tear down, and he didn't tear it down fast enough for the park. Whether it be their so-called assistant manager, Sandy, which never knew she was. Last I knew, she was just mowing lawns out here. You know, whether her and my husband's got into a few confrontations before, but that's kind of... That takes a different precedence because my husband would come home from work and she would drive by, or she would pop her mouth off, or she would say that we're talking to neighbors we shouldn't be talking to because they're trying to evict those neighbors too.
So it sounds like they're trying to evict all kinds of people out here, maybe?
Right.
Now, not to ask you anything too personal here, but I assume that you are married in Iowa with your husband.
Yes.
Let me ask you another question. It sounded like you said he's on a registry of some kind.
Right.
Is there anything you can say about that?
He's on the sex offender registry.
Okay.
He was supposed to get off 1.5 years ago. He's never reoffended. And when people learn that he was on that, they automatically think, oh, you small child. They don't read the paperwork to know the reasoning why.
Okay.
He was with somebody that there was like a 4 or 5 year age difference. And the person lived with him, and the mother got mad one day and just decided to go revenge.
Do you think that might be the underlying reason why they're trying to do this? Or?
It sounds like it, though, too, because there's other people that were on the registry out here that they sat there and said, oh, they hid this from us, so we evict those people.
Right.
We never hid it from the park. Before any money exchanged hands, I came to Becky and said, this is our situation. My husband has so many different places to live at that this is one of the options we have.
Okay. So you are okay in the spot, though?
Yes.
You are not within there's guidelines and boundaries where a person on the sex offender registry list can live.
Right.
You guys are okay on that?
Yes. Because this park, there's no state there.
Right, and the sheriff was here, so if they know that your husband's on that list,
right.
So if he was in any violation, you'd think that would have been a great time to confront him about
that. We're into 1.5 years now later, so right there is just telling me they're taking some personal vendetta towards my husband, or because my husband possibly got a little attitude with them, and you violated this. When we moved in here, we weren't given the option of signing a year lease.
Okay.
According to Iowa state law, anybody that takes possession of a new property to them, they have to have a year's lease signed, and after that year's lease, it drops down to a month to month. If we're given the option, if we want to re-sign, if we choose not to, it goes month to month.
Right.
Iowa, even in the mobile home park laws, it even states in here when we move in, we're supposed to get a copy of the park rules and the expectations of what they expect.
So Becky let you move in here. Basically, you just moved in.
Right.
And you started working on the trailer.
Right.
And now, how long ago was that again, Mike?
That was July 1st of last year when we took possession.
So you've already been in here a good 15 months easily here.
Right.
Okay. And then do you and your husband share the same last name,
Yes.
then, sir?
Yes.
And can I ask what your husband's first name is?
James.
James. Okay. James Chapin. Okay.
And we have a roofing company on the side.
Okay.
And
What's that called?
Chapin and Son Roofing.
Okay.
It's a little small mom and pop. We don't make it to get rich, as you can see. We make it just to have a nice little life that we enjoy.
Okay.
And
well, you have a nice home here, Mike. I mean,
it wasn't like this when we bought it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just. I just wonder what the reasoning is. I mean, I think they could say that's a private property thing, and maybe they just have the right to decide who lives in their property or not. But yet, you purchase this. I guess it's a cloudy situation.
Right. I mean, we bought this home, and we rent the land. I for the last year and a half, I've asked the park manager to please bring me fill dirt and grass seed so I can fix the sinkholes in my yard and try to level my yard out. They won't do that. When we purchased the home, the agreement between us was their maintenance people were supposed to come fix our outside light posts, clean all the trash up on the outside of the lot,
right,
and take care of some loose ends on their behalf. They didn't do that. We got stuck doing that.
Let me ask you this. What's it like living out here? I just drove in here. I don't get out here too much. I come out and done a couple stories in the past. I did notice several trailers that are just totally dilapidated. It looks like there may or may not be people in and out of them, maybe even sleeping in there at night. I mean, what's the situation out here?
It's shady. You're on the south end of the park, which everybody said this was the good end. The north end of the park, it's a really shady thing that when I lived in Clear Lake, I could leave my house unlocked, go to the grocery store, and not feel threatened. Here, I don't. I stay up late at night, always looking out my window, seeing if anybody's messing with my vehicles. I mean, I don't know what to expect over here. Becky kept on telling us, the park manager, she kept on telling us she wants to clean the park up. She wants to bring the park back to a nice state.
Right.
But yet, she's moving people into trailer homes that are not habitat for people to live in. When there's one trailer in particular on the front row was infested with cockroaches.
Well, was this one habitable when you took over?
No.
So you put $5-6 grand into this place so that you could live in it. It looks like a good place. I'll just pan around here a little bit. I mean, it's definitely it's clean in here. It's a nice place. It smells good in here. It looks from the surface that you guys are good tenants.
This place smelled like cat piss so bad when we bought it, and I scraped all the popcorn ceilings down. We replaced 70% of the floors in here so you can actually walk in here.
Okay.
We've done a lot of work, and the plans was we wanted to buy this place so we can start building a house. This was basically, let's put some money into this, let's buy this, let's look for the right land, let's slide her on, and then let's build our dream home. And now it's I don't know what to do. We're left with three options here. If we could find a lawyer to help us do our injunction, we can fight it and stay here. Or we have to try to privately sell it, and if we privately sell it, the park is going to deny every single person that wants to buy this.
Now, but you own this.
Right.
You own this trailer, so you could pick up and leave.
Right.
If you were able to.
The problem with that is where my husband can live. I did find one park that has a spot, but it won't be available until at least January or February of next year.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Have you looked at? I believe, just off the top of my head here, that there is a state legal assistance foundation or agency that you can go to for legal help. Have you looked into that?
Yes, they say because my husband works at Bagel, he makes too much money.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't really see how. He went from doing roofing to a lower paying job that brings home $300 a week.
Right.
Enough to try to skim us on our bills. I work a bar job right now because my plans was I was hoping to go back to school next fall. I was so excited to finally do something with my life, and now I got to put that back on hold because I got to deal with this. So that's why I'm not working a full-time job.
You've only got a couple of months here to get this dealt with. Are you thinking about calling some attorneys out of Mason City, Clear Lake area?
I have been.
Hampton, Waterloo, something like that.
I have been. It's just trying to search online. has just been exhausting. Trying to figure out which numbers you called, trying to figure out, and to explain stuff to everybody, to the point that it gets 3-4 in the afternoon and I'm just wiped out. I just can't take it anymore.
I understand.
Because of the ordeal, I'm back on my anxiety pills, which I don't like. They change my mood. They affect me in many different ways, but I can't deal with this level of stress without snapping. I've already told the local sheriff's department after I talked to them to see if they knew a reason why we got evicted. I have for them to come December 13th. Anybody steps foot on my property, I will be outside with a shotgun and I will shoot people to the point of death. And well, we don't need to hear that. That's terroristic. I'm like, I don't care. You're pushing me. This place is pushing me to this point. It makes it feel like I have no rights living in a trailer home on private property. I understand it's private property, but if I rent this lot, it becomes my property, my liability. If somebody slips and falls on my property, that's my butt, not the park's butt. That becomes my property, and the park is in so many violations out here that the city's so afraid to touch them because it's private property. People are afraid to speak up out here because they're afraid of being kicked out. I don't have nothing to lose right now, and after the way Ken treated me yesterday and said he's a professional businessman, no, you're not. You stop and listen to your tenants. If you're a professional, you will stop and explain to your tenants what's going on, why this happened, and maybe is there a reason, can we rectify it somewhere? Ken got a hold of Becky yesterday about the trailer up front, that white one that my husband was given the junk entitled to tear down, and Ken said, well, James could start back on it, but I want a contract in 5 days, it's going to be down. Well, then yesterday they yanked the dumpster out of there and won't even bring the dumpster back for the waste to go in now. We're not doing this. If he wants us to tear it down, he's going to hate to see the cost it's going to cost him if we have to charge him to tear it down. Instead, we were tearing it down enough just to scrap it out and get what we can out of it and be rid of it at the park. My husband's done so much work for this park and has done a lot of stuff that he probably shouldn't have done and has bent over backwards to help the management staff out in this park just for us to get booted out of here.
Well, Mike, it sounds like you got a big problem here. We're going to go ahead and get your story out, and we want to do a follow-up with you and see how things go. And we sure wish you the best for you and your husband here.
Well, the way it's going right now, though, too, our relationship is now crumbling because of all this. I can't take it no more, and the only way for me to get out, to be done with it, is a divorce and me moving back to my home state. And that's the last thing for 11 years. I've lived here for 11 years in Iowa, and I don't want to. But, in order for me to get my life where I need it to be, it's life. But it sucks. I mean, if I could do anything to save where our house is at and at least still be able to live here, then I could get my life on track the way I was planning on to do it until this all happened.
Okay. Well, difficult situation, but we will check back with you.
Okay.